In the velvet darkness of the blackest night, burning bright, there's a guiding star. No matter what or who you are, there's a light over at the Frankenstein place. There's a light burning in the fireplace. There's a light in the darkness of everybody's life. The darkness must flow down the river of night's dreaming. Flow, Morpheus, flow, let the sun and light come streaming into my life. Into my life. Ooh, 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 ooh. There's a light over at the Frankenstein place. There's a light over burning in the fireplace. There's a light in the darkness of everybody's life. Happy Halloween! Well, it's week 2 of horror movies, and yeah, so backstory. We saw a movie called Night of Horror. I'm sorry, people. Kay is not a fan of horror movies, especially R-rated horror movies. So you must have been traumatized for days after watching Night of Horror.
Yes, I was.
That movie was less gory than Doc McStuffins.
Okay, can we just get this done with?
I've seen episodes on the Disney Channel that were gorier than that movie. So
I'm bored.
So we had to see.
I'm gonna talk bored the whole movie.
So no, you have to talk like one. You have to talk like that zombie Confederate in the first movie.
No. Now they sounded like a chainsaw dying.
Would you say that was better?
The chainsaw dying was better, yeah.
So we had to see the original because if we just saw this movie, we would be confused by not knowing the backstory.
So we had to endure 2 movies for him. It was his pick. At least
all the
mine
movies
have
this
a little
mother.
humor.
Hey, you laughed during a part of this.
Which part?
I don't remember, but you did like a.
Okay.
You giggled, and I was like, "Did you just giggle?" And you were like, "Yeah."
You sure it wasn't in Dracula? Anyway, enough about I don't even want to watch that movie. Oh my god.
She's not a fan of female nudity.
No, not that.
Oh.
The movie.
Oh, I know what it is. You hate bugs!
Stop it. Can we just get on with this?
Okay,
we
so...
still have more movies to watch.
So, in this film...
You could call it that? Short film, videotape?
Apparently Trauma... We're seeing the Trauma version, Curse of the Cannibal Confederates, where
Who was the first one?
The first one, the original version was called Curse of the Screaming Dead.
Ah.
So, Trauma apparently, recut the movie to put, the horror stuff at the beginning.
It wasn't
Um,
really at the beginning.
or no, to
First half.
put like the Confederate stuff at the very beginning of the movie.
Oh yeah, like the
Also,
introduction.
the credits were originally at the end of the movie, apparently, and the spoiler alert: the scene where the heads explode were just placed randomly to
Yeah.
like try to like make it a little more. Oops.
Oops. Can I just watch it? Oh, okay.
Well, technically you are.
No,
So
I'm not.
anyway,
I'm watching this.
in this movie, it basically involves six people, three guys, three girls. Oh, I'm sorry, three women and three, dudes.
Yeah, right.
Cause feminism, ladies. I don't know why you guys. I don't know why you women.
I want a gun.
I don't
No,
know.
I don't.
I don't know why you women were so gun ho about the 2016 Ghostbusters. You had Curse of the Cannibal Confederates.
Please.
How many more horror starring movies do you feminists want?
None, I guess.
I
I don't call these women feminists. I call them very boring, whiny.
No, she was a feminist, remember?
Actress.
She said like, "You men, all you men think about is us being naked and taking advantage."
Well, they
So,
were hot, and guess what? They started taking their clothes off. Couldn't open up a window in the camper. No. They had the curtains closed. The camper stopped. They couldn't figure out why. The men,
the
they couldn't get
curtains
their.
the curtains were closed in the original too.
I
See?
know. But the original two ladies, were they as hot? Warm? Temperatured? Maybe they
No,
were
but
having a power surge.
no, but they also didn't change in the original.
Okay, so let's move on. So they're all in bikinis.
I guess.
Yeah, because I don't know if a bra that is like that one girl, the blind girl or deaf girl or whatever she was.
Yeah, it looked I guess it looked more like lingerie.
No, it looked like a swimsuit.
Yeah, okay, fine.
So the two could have switched, like you said,
Yeah,
bottoms and
one of them
tops.
had a white top and like black
Mm-hmm. Bikini bottom.
bottoms.
Yeah.
While the other girl had like a black top and white bottoms. It's like, okay, am I too picky, or could you guys have just switched and it would have looked maybe a little bit better? But whatever.
Maybe
Oh,
they wanted to show
also,
off their body. I don't know.
yeah, I'm just saying they could have swapped. They could have swapped tops
Yeah.
off camera, but they could have swapped. So anyway, in this movie with the feministy blonde chick,
The boring, whiny one?
yeah.
Ooh.
Then there was the brunette one,
They were both brunettes.
and then there was the Asian brunette one,
They were
blind.
both Asian.
Okay, there was the one that could see and the one that couldn't. Blind Kiyomi. And I am not insulting people. I am not insulting people with vision problems. That's what she's credited as, Blind Kiyomi. They don't tell you she's blind until about 20 minutes into the movie, where they're like, where she's just acting normal, or well, okay, she's not acting blind. Like she doesn't have a cane or anything. She isn't like doing this or anything.
Right.
No one is like really helping her walk or anything.
They walked next to her, but that
But
was
then
like it.
but then midway through they're like, blind people have better hearing. And it's like, "Wait, she's blind now?"
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, please read it to me. I can't read it. Please hold me. Well, I'll either go to sleep, hold you, or read it. Which one? Oh, okay.
Anyway,
They all were in tents. They had a camper, but they were all in three tents. Never saw them set them up, but all of a sudden
no,
they
no,
were in tents.
you saw
Well,
one of
yes,
them
one.
set it up.
Yes, one. And then all of a sudden there were three tents, and they sleep with the tent open.
I think that was for the camera to be able to see, kind of like
Right.
how TV shows only showed like three walls most of the time.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's move about
5 minutes?
30 minutes into the... Okay, so right now where we are, we're maybe about 20, 30 minutes in. Let's go forward about another 15 minutes, so that way we can get into what the heck this movie's about.
We get scared.
And what is this movie? I wasn't scared. You were.
Cannibal Confederates coming out of the ground, which the sheriff
No,
thought
I was
they
talking.
were all
I
shoveled
wanted to
out,
go
taken out.
chronologically. I wanted to
Okay.
go. They go to like a church slash grave site. Which, are there many churches that are built next to grave sites? I think.
Yes.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
At least chapels or churches, yes. In the olden days, Justin, you would have a church and then your congregation that passed would be like kind of right next to it, or
The Confederates had their own church? Okay, I guess.
why not? They weren't vampires.
Okay, so anyway, one of the dudes looks around, finds a box. No, not the zombies yet. Finds a box with like a Confederate with a Confederate flag and some
Yes.
stuff. And
Told them to put it back.
oh my God, a Confederate flag in this movie is like the original is like if you had a combination of the original VHS of Nuki and the original
You're gonna
VHS
mix them, aren't you?
and the original VHS of The Weekend It Lives, aka Axum. It is more valuable than and a third VHS of Tales from the Quad Dead Zone. It is more valuable than all three of those put together. And they're like, "Oh my God, we need a Confederate flag."
No, we don't. Put it back. It doesn't belong to you.
Oh, by the way, I do give them credit for this time having having a Confederate flag, because in the original film Night of Horror, it had a Confederate flag, and I think it had a flag that had 50 stars on it.
They were hopeful. They were thinking ahead.
That's a little inaccurate.
They had a telescope into the future.
To 1959?
Whatever.
Hey, Dinesh D'Souza, these people could get a Confederate flag. What's your excuse?
He doesn't have one.
Oh, that's right. I don't give a darn about you. Anyway.
Okay. Can we move on?
So, one of them doesn't take... She's used to sitting there now. One of them doesn't take the Confederate flag. Instead, they take a diary. Instead, they take a diary and just read it. That's what the guy was reading. Mel, I think, with Blind Kiyomi. And that apparently really ticks off these Confederates as they get up and then just start walking.
And it's not even Halloween.
Oh, by the way, we were gonna do this review trying to look like them, but we didn't have enough white shoe polish and we didn't have enough primer paint.
Or clown makeup.
Okay, would you have allowed me to say the word clown?
Oh,
I didn't think so.
Well, just as bad as Confederates.
Okay. Does this mean you don't want to watch Gettysburg or something?
I don't know.
So anyway, they're just like...
No, they're not. They're not walking like that. They're walking normal. Their arms out that way, not in forward.
Oh,
they sounded like chainsaws that were like hiccuping.
Me and her were talking about how I make her watch a lot of zombie movies, and I was like, what was the last zombie movie? And I just remembered it. Nudist Colony of the Dead.
Okay, let's move on.
By the way, people, she thought Chopping Mall was a zombie film.
Those robots were way whacked weird.
But they're not zombies.
Okay, whatever. Can we go on? Can we just finish this?
So anyway, they attack the campers. Don't kill them. They attack them. Then they use guns, and they must have seen Diary of the Dead, because they aim for the head, and the heads are filled with dynamite and dust. Better than in Beware Children at Play, I guess. So anyway, 10 minutes later. By the way, a lot of this takes place at night because,
well,
if you don't have effects, feel free to shoot in the woods at night.
Yeah, especially when they're attacking the females or other men. And one time, the sheriff was in dark, the others were in like dusk, and then they went back to him. He was in daylight, and then they were still like dusk, and then he was dark, and oh my god.
Which means either that guy took forever to get his lines correct, or those were reshoots.
Maybe. Or he wasn't there when they shot the first time and they had
Yeah,
to get it whenever
that's
they
what
could
I
get
said,
it.
reshoots.
Yeah. Weird.
Oh
Weird.
yeah, there's one
They
part
would
where
not get an award for cinematography.
cinematography.
Yeah, that word.
There's one. Here's one of my favorite parts. There's one part where they're in the grass area, then they walk, and then they're in wood area, and then they're in like dirt, and then a second later they're in grass again. Like, okay, what was that?
There's, you know,
So, and a cop, they really
just pointing the
believe.
we've dug up a rope and dropping the
Those
not a walking attack there shot up but
what was another one of like the insults that they used, like you knucklehead or something? And it's like, wow.
that your story pulls in with the other story.
So then the cop goes to investigate, and
he gets scared.
Okay, just cover your ears. So basically what happens is that the scene is kind of cut into like 3 parts, but basically they take the cop, and because it's called Cannibal Confederates, they eat it, and you hear like if you've ever eaten like a rib, I apologize vegans, but if you've ever eaten like a rib knuckle, like when you hear like a kind of what it sounds like. Okay, come back.
Trying to clean up.
Then they run to a house. They go to a house and investigate because what? They got to be like Inspector Gadget or something.
Yeah, just like
that's a throwback to Axum.
Just like at Six Flags, okay, they all came out of the ground.
Love at first.
There was a house with light on.
Oh, for
Frankenstein. Busted light on.
Well, I did not that it was going to happen. I did the songs. So how much they're sitting and things ran some. They realize, oh, Mr. Dyer, they're like,
no, he wrote at him, like, held, and then the or the general, he went to tear because he burned it. And the guy that I read.
So
we got something.
So that's
no guy this want to see
thoughts on.
I was books.
She sleep.
Because you could run
asleep. And that's
bad. Bad.
That's the question. This horror. They're direct.
They're both. Chick was even, but she wasn't.
Well, by second movie, the acting.
Up right. Well, she.
Yeah, sure. It's kind of like you can't. It was really good. She did. Kind of lost passion.
Oh,
What?
no, I will.
Which
And at
there?
least Confederates in the first fighting soldiers
Oh, no, no, the Flash. That was in a bad. The zombie I saw was pretty much still of a guy person.
they weren't soldiers.
Some
They were wearing loose, or they were
which
overall.
is
Is it together
and
also, or they're
shirts. So it's clearly the Confederate, not
should have been dark. Had to have
dark. That
yeah.
okay.
I ended in one of those boys.
And thing, just Trump 19 the made us become teenagers, but they still original 19 and I have a hard time. This movie says